Hello everyone, today I'll be just do a quick demo on our IPC actors. Basically, it's a user-defined IPC that's running on FVM. I will show you a very simple system architecture, like how everything works together. So first we have the IPC subnet. So basically it's an abstraction of the subnet itself, and it tracks the state of a subnet, such as the checkpoints and the stakes. And at the same time, it manages the membership functions of the subnet, like if you want to join a subnet or quit or leave a subnet, for example, it's all done through the subnets by the subnets. And then, of course, we have the IPC Gateway. So what it does is basically coordinate between all the subnets and and all the handles, all the subnet interaction. So in this case, for example, such as for example, subnet A sends a message to subnet B. So this is all done through the IPC Gateway. At the same time, it maintains the information of the different subnets, like how many there are. At the same time, also it makes sure that the subnets actually follow the protocol. So overall, the subnet IPC Gateway will handle the basically multiple subnets simultaneously. So later for the demo, probably I'll just show you how we deploy an IPC Gateway on FVM. At the same time, we'll deploy a subnet, and that we can interact with with each other. The gateway interact with the gateway, with the subnets. Okay, so now I'll jump over to my code, to our IDE. So the current setup, we have a node that's already running, and at the same time also have a miner that's running. So because the VM is quite small, so probably we don't expect a very high block production time. So anyway, it shouldn't affect our demo. And then I have another one that's currently running, and then this is where we can do all our operations. So let me just quickly show you this IPC stuff. Yeah, so we have two. One is the IPC Gateway and the IPC Subnet Actor. And there are repo actually in here. ConsensusLab, feel free to check them out. And we have the Gateway, and then we have the Subnet Actor. Yeah. So this is basically this is the Git where we store our code. Anyway, and then it's compiled to WASM, and then we send it to the machine, and we can do the deployment on the VM. Then because this is actually my cheat sheet. Okay, above actually the how to set up the node on how to set up the FVM. We shouldn't be concerned about that for now. So first I'll install the actor. Of course, we start with IPC Gateway. So we just wait for the message to execute, and we should be able to have a message ID. Okay, yeah, okay, code ID. And then, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Disregard the variable naming. And then, okay, and then we can create the actor and with some parameter. So this parameter is actually the constructor serialized, like CBORD serialized and the base64 encoded. So how it looks like is actually in types. I'm just showing the gateway types. And in the constructor, it takes the network name plus the checkpoint period. So probably you're asking, like, why do you do this like in such a low level? Like you have to pass in like base64 encoded. Okay, in the future, we'll probably have our own client, like CLI client, but for now, because we haven't, the client is still in progress. So just bear with me for now, and then in the future probably we'll have more convenient tools. So how it was generated is basically a very simple serialization. We just serialize it and just print it, print the serialized version, and that's it. We have this chunk of characters. Okay, now let's just create it and wait for it to be deployed. Okay, just give it some time. Okay, now we just have to be aware of this address. So this is the address of the IPC, and this is basically a different form. Okay, now then what we can do is deploy the subnet actor. Okay, the actor, install the actor. Okay, true. Okay, now we have this ID, and then because we didn't change the code. So and then now we create the subnet actor. So you see here we have another chunk of characters. Similarly, it's the constructor parameter. So with the constructor parameter, like it has a few default parameters and also required, for example, such as the IBC Gateway address. So you have to pass in this number so that the subnet actor can actually reach the gateway. At the same time, also we had some minimum validator stake, like you really require some certain amount of stake before you can actually join or make it the subnet live. So how we do this in our simple demo, we just pass in some default values like IPC like pass in this value. Okay, let me just do it. 1005. Okay, 1005 is the new address. And then we just set some simple parameter and then just print it. Okay, let's just do it real quick. Okay. If this parameter is wrong, then these actually FVM will just throw an error because the actor cannot be found. Later, we can show us probably a simple demo of this, and then probably we can see the error message. Okay. Okay, this is actually, yeah, because I commented off a lot of the code, so it's throwing some unused parameter. But yeah, it's just some helper I had it locally, so on the GitHub it should be fine. And then okay, once we paste it here, let's just call it. Okay. Create this subnet actor and then just let it run. Okay, now it's deployed, and I can just call this function now. Call this address with invoke. Okay, now you see. Okay, we created this function because the current Lotus chain invoke. Actually, currently it doesn't have a like a value function, like a value parameter, where because we require like a minimum of, I think a default we require like a 10. So in the protocol, in the IPC protocol, a gateway protocol. So we probably, if we use this one, it will be rejected. So we sort of created our own. It's just a very simple client method that it just attaches the value to it. So it's probably more convenient for our test case. But anyway, like I said before, in the future we'll have our own client. So probably it's more convenient where you don't really have to deal with the seaborg serialization in our Rust code here, but just temporarily for the idea, it's actually the same idea. Okay, now let's just say we have 10. I think it requires 10, and the address is this one. And then let me just paste it here. And then okay, this is the address. Okay, and then and then this we have the method is join. So okay, let's go up. Yeah, so this is join, and the join parameters, of course, similarly is basically just a validator net address. Just take some string. For this one, it's just a test string, and you just print it, and you would have this chunk of code. So anyway, I just deploy this, call it, and then yeah, just wait for the message to execute. And you should call into, yeah, correct. And then this is success, means it actually calls into the IPC gateway already. Thank you.